Remind me what Ethan does again?
Ethan photocopies, when you go to the library and you use the microfilm,
Mm-hmm.
someone has to scan all that in there.
He does that now? He scans newspapers into
From the olden times.
old newspapers.
And also from the current. People in the future will need that.
I would have thought that that whole process was much more digital now, though.
He uses very advanced photocopiers.
After you had dinner, what did you do?
We just read aloud to one another various short stories that he has, an anthology. He practices colonial American behavior, which is why he has a collection, an anthology of all of the short stories that have won awards. They gave him that at his job, his scanning thing. He had to scan them all, put them in the award-winning stories microfilm collection.
I would imagine it would be pretty tough to read a short story on microfilm.
Some people, some people enjoy it.
What's the difference between microfilm and microfiche? I don't know anything about it, but I always hear that term microfiche. What is that? Is that something?
Ethan works with computerized photocopying, microfilm alignment procedures.
That's so unique.
He practices colonial American behavior, which is why he likes reading aloud so much.
So tell me a little bit more about that. To what extent does he practice that kind of behavior? Does he use electricity?
Not on the Sabbath.
Is that a colonial thing?
No.
Okay, cut.
He just, occasionally, he enjoys, connecting with those times, those simpler times when the men were at war.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Little Women. That's all they had to do.
Was that set during colonial times?
No, that's the Civil War, but
right, thank you.
but still the war, it's people, everyone's away and there's nothing to do, so you light a candle and you just read aloud.
Okay, great.
We listen to NPR and briefly discuss the stock market.
Does he know a lot about the stock market?
He knows a lot about the different metals. Gold is up, bronze is down.
Because I was going to say, it'd be sort of strange for someone who practices colonial American behavior to know a lot about the stock market, microfilm, incidentally, and also listen to NPR.
I don't know how you feel about Christmas ornaments. I favor the early aughts. You can talk about the war on Christmas being real or not, but the companies change their designs based on sort of the demand for like holiday friendly stuff, which is fine, but in terms of the design of the ornaments, the early aughts is sort of the last few years where you could get those traditional patterns and textures, which I love. We're coming up on the rainy season in Thailand, which is, the glue stick capital. So I always try to get a bunch before that, because when the factories flood, and inevitably one does, they become scarce. I discovered this company out of Belgium that's doing some really amazing pipe cleaner stuff. There's a guy, their sort of head designer, really pushing the envelope.
You have a whole basket of puffs.
I'm sort of I protested the inflation of those. I've sort of had it up to here with most of the major puff companies. I send email after email, and inevitably the correspondence just falls off. If you're gonna put a support and contact email address on your bags, then make sure you respond to it within 24 hours. The San Juan Islands. There's a guy off the coast of Seattle on the islands who does some good stuff, but it's a pretty small operation, so I can only get his stuff sometimes.
Is that out you're making some sort of headdress?
Sort of an investigation of the Statue of Liberty as an Indian princess fighting back, like taking Manhattan back.
She's fighting back?
Yeah, because the whole thing where like Manhattan was sold by the Indians. It'll be sort of like from a distance, you'll be like, that's the Statue of Liberty, and you get close to see an enraged, sort of beautiful but upset Indian princess who is going to reclaim Manhattan for her family and her tribe.
That's deep.
It's heady. It sure is. Lots of stuff going on in the shop right now. It's a hectic time.
Looks like it.
So you can't speak with that in there, right?
That looked great. Can we try it again?
I just want to make sure we're staying focused on our goals here. I just want to make sure that we're staying focused on our goals here.
Yes. I'm very focused. The weirdest gum. It goes long like this.
It's pretty incredible. The weirdest gum.